Alright, so, guys, how is everyone doing in the chat once again? We didn't really get a chance to read out your cheers and your support for these teams and players in that very short last game. So, let's do this again. If you guys are supporting either of these players tonight, when I introduce them, make sure you cheer them on, make sure you let us know that you are supporting them. In the top left hand corner, from Root Gaming, the blue Zerg player, it's Hydra. He throws out the GKGL to start off this game. Down to the bottom right hand corner, the pink Zerg player from mYinsanity. He's just took game 1 with a 9 pool. This time he has made it to 10 supply without stopping drone production. It's Zervas. Did I really say mentioning a certain Hydra? Well, okay, I messed that up, didn't I, Matt? Hydra says, Winter, give me 8. There you go, I said your name. Let's go, Hydra, let's go from vintage. Oh man, I wouldn't send Hydra out for a ZVZ, says Rahayo. Seems like a risk of a build or a loss. I don't know, man, it's Hydra. He's gonna go huge. My main race is Terran. I'm gonna be streaming some of my ladder games soon, once we get past this crazy week of Team League, where we've just got so many matches to catch up on, etc. Gonna be using some of my time to stream some ladder and stuff like that, so that will be coming up on the stream shortly. As Zervas this time around opens up with the hatchery first against the pool first of Hydra. So both fairly standard openings, Hydra just playing a little bit more safely here early on. Hydra is just ridiculous, says La Revelations. God, that took me so long to get. Wow. So, Hydra comes out straight away. I mean, yeah, Rahayo was saying this in the chat. He's saying, you know, why send Hydra out in the ZVZ? Why send him out now? Like, Zervas isn't exactly the strongest player from mYinsanity, right? So, to send Hydra out so soon seems like a massive kind of... Well, you know, it's kind of weird to send him out straight away. Maybe they know how important the map score is, and maybe they know, like, hey, if we're going to do this, we just need Hydra to go huge for us and give us, like, a 4-1 victory or something. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I wonder who else Root have lined up for tonight, because Root are actually one of the most interesting teams in the Team League to kind of question which players will they use this time, because they've got such a big roster in comparison to other teams. Say for Red Bloods example, we know which 4 players play for Red Bloods every single time they come into a Team League match. For Root it can be anyone. They could even bring out Supernova tonight, I guess, if they really wanted to. So yeah, it's really kind of crazy who can come out for Root. Massa has been a top performer recently. You know, Katz has always done well in the Team League actually. He's taken down players such as MMA, Lilbo, Hart. He's had strong performance in the Team League, so we could really see anyone out of Root. We've seen Kalazer last week and Igers. It's really interesting to see who exactly they decide to play in these matches. As we get into this game, Hydra is just opening with a gasless opening, which means he's going to be looking to skip straight in towards the Rotron and Evolution Chambers as the game goes on. Creep Tumor on the natural very early on. He will be looking to use that to spread the creep towards his walls so that he can get the Evolution Chambers and the Rotron up and ready to go. And Zervas has gone for a speed opening here, so he's got his gas early and he's left one worker in there. He can put down the Bane Nest if he would like to. If he can figure out that this is a gasless opening, which he just did with this Zergling Scout in towards the main base, then he now knows exactly what his opponent's doing, and that means he probably won't make a Bane Nest unless he's really going to try and bust through his opponent, but with 10 more drones on the way, that's very unlikely. So it looks as though right now Zervas is probably looking towards, say, maybe starting a lair very quickly. Alternatively, he could just take a very fast third base, which is what this drone is off to do, then drop an Evo chamber, and then he can start his +1 very early on as well, and he'll actually get +1 about the same time as Hydra will. So that's definitely a possibility, and he'll have a faster third base as well. So he'll have this Zergling speed, and it'll be interesting to see whether that Zergling speed will be utilized by him. You know, there's always the choice of, do you actually make the Zerglings to try and deny the third base of your opponent? I definitely think he should try to, at least, because, yeah, you know, 20 Zerglings is 10 drones you could have, but the amount of time you can delay this base for, the amount of time you can just keep it delayed, is pretty significant. Rotron only just going to come down now for Hydra, so he's realistically not safely going to take a third base for another minute and a half here until Roaches are up and ready to go, and Zervas does see the timing of this, so if he would like to make a round of Zerglings to deny the third, he definitely can. There's the 1-1 on the way for Hydra, and at the same time the +1 for Zervas and a Roach one as well. So looks as though he will just skip the Zerglings, take the advantage of the lair coming in and the hatchery just being already a little bit sooner than his opponents, and just keep on droning to keep this at an even game with Hydra right now. So this Overlord is just getting poked away a little bit. Gogo's, I guess we actually didn't do the cheers from earlier, actually. Actually, for once, I managed to actually talk without stopping and saying anything useless. Like, it was kind of amazing. That was like one of the best first 7 minutes of the games I've ever done. Hail Hydra says Vintage in the chat. Gogo Zervas says SC_Tris. Go Zervas says draw some TBM2. And yeah, so thank you for letting us know who you're supporting, guys. So you fried saying, telling me that technically Red Bloods isn't eliminated. I know. I figured this out after in the break between after that last series and before this one. It's actually kind of crazy because they can actually still make it through. So it's sort of ridiculous. Roaches for Hydra just cleaning up a Zergling on this third base, which is on the way down for him now. Roach speed on the way for both players. Hydra will have that +1 carapace advantage. And he's got 5 worker lead as well right now. Starting to clear up a couple of overalls just out and about on the map. Zervas with quite a lot of roaches though, and he might try and hit a +1 timing here if he would like to, but he'd be attacking into 1-1 of his opponent, and well, I mean, there's no harm in poking and seeing if he can get anything done, but he really shouldn't commit into a fight here, I don't think. What do I think about the new Terran unit? You mean the one that's that flies? The one that's going to be in the air and do mass damage to muters? I haven't really... It's been a while since I actually remember what it does, but it seems kind of cool. I remember thinking it seemed kind of okay, but I think Legacy of the Void's in such a weird position right now anyways, right? Like, I don't know if we even need a unit to deal with muters, because no one's even making mutalisks right now. Last time I watched Legacy of the Void anyways. ZVZ here. 2 on the way now for Hydra, +2 on the way for Zervas. Again, he will fall behind in these carapace upgrades, but that's a very minor difference here, as cleans out a creep tumor with the help of that Overseer, and Hydra will clean out that changing nice and quickly. Right now, army supplies are dead even, and Hydra just trails by 4 workers. The only difference between these two guys in this game, as both players will continue to boost up a little bit more in army supply as time goes on. Of course, 4 overlords on the way for Hydra, so he's going to make sure he's not getting supply blocked until the very end of, until he gets 200 supply basically. Overseer for him is hanging around and keeping the you know, he doesn't have the engine just yet, but he knows where that evolution chamber is, so a contaminate is definitely going to be viable here if he wants to try and slow things down. Of course, we did see Zervas actually using his energy on the Overseer to pop down some changelings, so he's not going to have that option here. He does actually okay. He has an Overseer in the back of the natural, so that's definitely something we could see. As coming in right now, Hydra. Go contaminate, hits down there, and will slow down that +2, but that's exactly what Zervas should be looking to do as well, but he doesn't know. Okay, yeah, he does, sorry, no. He actually hits +2 carapace, which is a little bit unfortunate. Hitting the incorrect upgrade there. You know, carapace again, not quite as important as that missiles is. Moving forwards, we're going to see these roaches just going to take down some rocks here, open up the attack paths in this game. We're heading towards a maxed out game right now. Zervas already heading towards that 200. Tiger is not far behind. Upgrades are going to be coming in for both players very shortly. +2 missiles will finish sooner for Hydra, of course, because his Contaminate went on the more useful upgrade of the 2. Burrow coming in for Zervas as well, so he's starting to tech out of, well, not tech out of roaches, but tech further into roaches. Give them that burrow and maybe even tunneling claws here soon, as he's going to split into a concave, and Hydra is going to take this fight without a second thought. He saw that Zervas didn't have all of his units straight away, and this being on Hydra's side of the map, he will have closer reinforcements, and with a similar concave, he should just win this. His +2 is going to finish very soon as well, and he will know that his should be coming in a little bit sooner than his opponents, because he knows he hit the only evolution chamber. He knows he slowed down, and now he has that upgrade advantage, and he's going to push this back. He'll grab a couple more roaches on the out exit as well, and Zervas takes a big loss here in that fight. That was not the kind of time he wanted to be fighting. He needed to wait for his own +2. He needed to just wait to make sure he was actually in the better position before taking that fight. It was kind of weird because he split so many units off up here, and Hydra kind of jumped on those units while there was still some over here getting ready to kind of get into position. Zervas will now hold the bottom of this ramp in a concave, try and keep Hydra away from pushing down here. But here we go, Hydra's just going to go for this now as he comes in, and is he going to have enough to deal with the defender's advantage of the closer reinforcements? He has some reinforcements of his own coming in right now. He stands at a 20 army supply lead in this game, now 30 though. It's increasing pretty quickly, and Zervas is on the run. A reinforcing roach gets cut off from the rest of the army, and Hydra just keeps moving forwards here. The queen goes down at the third, and every single roach over here is just going to fall. Hydra's going to be able to take this, it seems. He just has way too much. He's killing off so many drones. He's got reinforcements coming in. He's pulling them away, knowing he doesn't have a favourable engagement over there, as he just slowly cleans out all of these roaches. And down they go. GG is called. Hydra evens up our series, and a series is what we now have on